All right, let's dive into something pretty deep today. We're going to explore this really profound, often unspoken connection between how we love and how we deal with the fact that our lives are finite. I mean, we all know love is a big deal, right? But have you ever stopped to ask why? Why does it feel so absolutely fundamental to who we are? Well, it turns out the answer is tangled up with our biggest, most primal fear, the fear of death.
So, here's the roadmap for our journey today. First, we're going to look at that fundamental fear. Then, we'll see how we build this shield of denial. After that, we'll get into how love becomes this immortality project. And finally, how we can move toward a more authentic love that actually affirms life.
Okay, let's start at square one. We've got to begin with the one big truth that really shapes the entire human condition.
You know, this isn't just some passing dark thought you have late at night. According to thinkers like Ernest Becker, this awareness that our time here is limited is this constant, low-humming terror under the surface of everything. Our entire psychology is basically built to manage this, pushing us to find some kind of meaning in the face of it all.
So if we're all carrying this heavy knowledge around, how do we even function? How do we get out of bed in the morning? Well, we build a defense, a really, really big one. And that defense is what we call the denial of death. But listen, this isn't about just forgetting we're mortal. No, it's this massive, active, creative thing we all do. It's a huge psychological and cultural shield we build together to give ourselves a feeling of permanence in a world where nothing lasts forever. And this denial usually plays out in two main ways. First, there's what's called cultural heroism. You know, we write books, build companies, fight for a cause. We try to create something that's going to outlive us. But the second path, and you could argue it's the more powerful one, is through our relationships. And that is where love comes roaring into the picture. This brings us right to the heart of it all. We're about to see how love becomes our most personal, most emotionally intense attempt to overcome our own mortality. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Love works on two levels. It's our earthly anchor, giving our life right now incredible meaning and weight. But it also feels like a spiritual door to something bigger, something timeless, that goes way beyond just us. Emotionally, we see this in what you might call a fusional relationship. We basically pour all our hopes for permanence into another person. They become our personal immortality project. It's like we're co-writing a story together, a story that we tell ourselves has no final chapter. It becomes this incredible refuge from that lonely feeling of being finite. But here's the catch. This kind of love is a double-edged sword. On one side, yeah, it's a beautiful illusion, a powerful shield against loss. But on the other side, there's a real danger. By turning our partner into the symbol of forever, we start to ignore their own fragility. And in doing that, we keep on denying our own. That powerful shield can become a trap. Okay, so if that's the trap, how do we get out? This is the crucial turning point. This is where we learn to shift from a love built on fear to one that's founded on acceptance. And this one question changes everything. What if we've been looking at love all wrong? What if its purpose isn't to help us run away from the end, but to help us live more deeply within the time we actually have? Look at this transformation right here. It's huge. We move away from denial, which is rooted in fear, and we find the courage to just accept our limits without falling into despair. Love shifts from that fusion love, where we're trying to merge to escape, to something called gift love. That's where you love someone completely because of their fragility, not in spite of it. And that whole quest for an eternal life, it gets replaced by finding intensity and meaning in our present life, right here, right now. And that's really the core of it. Authentic, mature love doesn't stick its head in the sand. Its real power comes from looking that reality of death right in the face and choosing to love anyway. Its meaning isn't found in denying the end, but precisely because the end is a certainty. And this all leads us to a really profound conclusion. This is where love becomes the ultimate yes to our own existence. You can almost think of it as a kind of spiritual path, and it has 3 steps. First, you have to let go of that shield of denial. Then you can truly embrace and accept your own mortality. And it's that acceptance that makes the final, most incredible step possible, transforming that deep fear of death into a powerful faith in life itself. And this is the big takeaway. When you love someone fully, generously, and authentically, knowing full well that it's all going to end, that very act of loving becomes the greatest proof there is that our short, finite time here is incredibly meaningful. Love stops being an escape from death. It becomes the most powerful reason for life.
So I'll just leave you with this thought to chew on. What if the real point of loving someone isn't about building a fortress against loss? What if it's about celebrating the beautiful, fragile, precious time we have together? What if that is the real eternity we've been looking for all along?